Okay. Good evening, everyone. How are you all? Happy Thursday. This is Emily Richards, the founder of the Stickman consultancy. And tonight I am very honoured to be joined by someone who I've actually admired for a long time now and who is right up there on my list of people I'd like to interview. So it's a very special evening for me. It's the principal of the world-class DLD College in London, Irfan Latif. Welcome, Irfan.
Thank you very much, Emily. Thanks very much for having me here tonight on your wonderful show. And thank you very much to everyone who's tuned in tonight, giving up their busy schedules to listen to someone like me talk to the wonderful Emily of Stickman Consultancy.
Thank you, Irfan. And you've had a busy day. You've had an open event at your school as well.
Yes, first one in 3 years. You know, everything we've had to pivot, we've had to move, just like everyone else has had to. And we've been working on webinars, just like one of these things tonight, but it was great to see a packed hall of eager parents and prospective students, and talking to them about what we can offer their sons and daughters here at DLD College London. And it was just brilliant, just the smiles on our students' faces, just to see new parents and in the actual hall, and our staff as well, who are absolutely fantastic tonight. So yeah, it's a good event. Really good event.
Fantastic. So Irfan, if you wouldn't mind, maybe kicking off, telling us a little bit about yourself and maybe, your career path, how you got into the industry. I would love to hear, for one. So if you wouldn't mind sharing that.
Sure, no problem. I went to a school called Emmanuel in South London and really had a good time. In fact, one of the old boys is he's looking to send his daughter to DLD tonight, so he turned up to the parent evening. So Ash, if you're listening, good to see you. Otherwise, yeah, after that I went on to do chemistry at King's in London. So there's a theme running here. I stayed in London, got family and friends here in London, but then I got the teaching bug. I enjoyed being in front of a classroom. I enjoyed having done a PGCE. I thought, this is something that I could really get my teeth into. If I took another year out after doing a PGCE, the people on the milk round, which is all the employers who come to universities, would probably think, right, this guy's a bit of a waster. So I decided, right, I'll give teaching a go. And my first post was Haberdashers' Asks up in North London, and I fell in love with it. Teachers were fantastic there. What a wonderful school. And then I just moved on from school to school, picking up different experiences along the way. So Haberdashers is an all boys day school up in North London. I then moved to Whitgift, which is an all boys day school down in South London. Very big on sport as well. So, national champions in rugby and football, all of those sort of sports. And then I moved to St Benedict's, having been senior housemaster at Whitgift. I then moved to St Benedict's, where I became director of science and head of chemistry. My degree was chemistry at King's. And that was a co-ed school right up to sixth form, with a prep school as well. And it was based on a Catholic school. So for me, it was looking at how religion permeated through school and what impact religion had on pastoral care, which was very useful. I then went from there to become deputy head at Bedford School, an all-boys boarding school. So again, that was fascinating. My sort of first foray into boarding some 100 years ago, and absolutely loved the ethos, the whole ideas behind boarding, what boarding can offer, the skills and the values of boarding. And then from there, I went on to pick up my first headship at a lovely boarding school in Somerset called Sexies, where I spent 5 lovely years, living the countryside life down in Bruton in Somerset. And then after there, I decided to come back to London and come to DLD, which is a completely different proposition, very different to the type of Harry Potter-esque boarding that we've been used to at places like Bedford and Sexies, and real modern 21st century boarding. And that was a wake-up call for me. And there was some work to do here. And it's been a great 5 years. Like, the 5 years have gone like that. I can't believe it's been so quick. But the governors, the staff, the parents, the kids have been absolutely fantastic. And here we are today, and really enjoying it. And we're seeing super numbers coming through the door now. We had a tough time, like everyone did, during the pandemic. But now we're seeing a resurgence now, especially in boarding, domestic boarding in particular. So we're really, really pleased at how things are going at the moment.
Amazing, amazing. And see Julie Keys is watching there. So hi, Julie, how are you doing?
Good to see you, Julie.
So that's so interesting about boarding, and that real passion came through then when you started talking about boarding. And as you say, Harry Potter sort of style school, and all that offers versus what you have at DLD. So maybe, just tell us a little bit about, about what DLD offers and how that maybe challenges a more traditional model.
Yes, I mean, we have a house system here, which we introduced last year, and the house system is based on the London Underground, because we're so centrally based in London, right opposite the Houses of Parliament and next door to St Thomas's. We based our houses on the tube system, and that continues with our resource that London is our classroom. We're not blessed like the big traditional boarding schools with acreage of fields to play football and things like that. But we use London as our classroom, and the boarders use that as well. But we are lucky. We have built a sports pitch. It's not huge, but you can play basketball on there, and that's an opportunity for the boys and the girls to blow off some steam. We have a third floor roof garden. We have our 18th floor terrace as well. We're also blessed with a swimming pool and a gym and a sauna. So that's not too bad for the well-being of our staff and students. And of course, our boarders use that as well. So despite not having all of the trappings of a traditional boarding school, being in the city has really provided us with a different style of boarding. And we call that urban boarding. And that's our philosophy here, that we use London as our classroom and use London as our home, so that we can benefit from being in a global city to allow our students to gain as much experiences as possible. So every weekend, our students are out doing some trip or activity. There was a media studies film trip that went out on the Saturday morning. On the Friday night, we had our ball down on Great George Street down in Westminster. We're going to be having our graduation ceremony or speech day at Westminster. So all of those just add to the boarding experience here for our students at DLD.
Amazing, amazing. And I had the joy of passing by DLD last weekend on the way to the Cobras conference. So, and obviously Karen was with me, Karen, who's in the Stickman team and a good friend of yours, along with her husband, Simon Smith. They may be watching, I don't know. Say hi if you are, Karen and Simon. But yeah, it sounds amazing. And that location, like you say, oh my goodness, just right in the thick of it, aren't you there?
Yeah, and when you say right in the thick of it, we're very lucky to have the fact that we're right next to Parliament, that we can go and visit Parliament at a drop of a hat. Our politics students, the classes are full because those kids want to be able to just, at lunchtime go over and listen to a debate, which we can do at lunchtime and come back for period 7. So the locality is fantastic. One thing parents were asking me tonight was, our vision is creating unique learning opportunities. And they said, well, how do you do that? Because some of those parents have come from traditional boarding schools. And I said, right, okay, for example, we have our remembrance service. Now, for a lot of our students will probably stand there and go, why am I standing still? I don't understand why. Once that remembrance service is finished, we walk them over to the Imperial War Museum, which is only a 2-3 minute walk from here. And then when they go inside, it then puts everything into context. So those learning opportunities for us are second to none in terms of what the city can offer us and how we can impact the learning that goes on in the classroom.
Amazing, amazing. Now, I hear you have a very exciting September coming up as you're opening the doors to year 9s for the first time.
Yes, I know. We've been inundated with requests to have a school such as ours. We've been termed BDELs in the city, so that year 9s can join us. We have year 10 and 11, so small year groups, but obviously the main intake is coming in at year 12. But we started off as a tutorial college back in 1931. So they were preparing students for the Oxbridge exams and for the Colonial Services exams for the East India Company, of all places. And over the years, the school has sort of transformed, being a sixth form tutorial college, and now it is a city boarding school, and there's been calls for us to open the doors to year 9 for siblings, for those kids who aren't going to go to some of the elite institutions here, day schools in London, and for them to come to us. They can offer just as much as they would any of those institutions. So we took the brave decision to open our doors to year 9. Staff are excited about the proposition of our year 9s coming here, as are parents, because they feel that they're going to coming to a very inclusive, very diverse school, which has a population of about 60% international, where we have 57 different varieties, just like a tin of beans, from all over the world. And we have 40% odd domestic students as well. So those students who are born in the UK and have lived in the UK, etc. So opening our doors to year 9 in September 2023 is a really, really exciting prospect for us. And already we've had a number of registrations, so it's looking good. So I'm very pleased.
Whoa, what a move. That's amazing. Julie says, DLD is like no other school I have visited. Under Irfan's leadership, it has become a flagship for modern boarding.
It's nothing to do with me, it's to do with the team. The team here are fantastic. They're passionate about what they do here. They're passionate about boarding. They're passionate about being offering something different to the market, and that's what we can offer here at DLD. And for me, if you know my history, I've come from a very sort of traditional background, and for me to come here now, not to wear a tie, not to wear a suit. If I had hair, I'll dye it a different color. For us, it is a very, very different value proposition that we can offer our parents here, both in London, in home counties and beyond, and of course internationally as well. And so our staff are committed in providing a very special and unique type of boarding here. And I've been so lucky with the team that we've assembled here at DLD. As you know, we've gone on to win a number of awards. The highlight was winning Boarding School of the Year. So we were very, very impressed with what our team are doing here to promote and to ensure that our students have an experience which is second to none.
Yeah, absolutely. And congratulations on that. And no, I think you're being, very modest when you say it's the team, not yourself. But, a team needs a good leader, obviously. And, anyone I speak to about DLD, it's just has this real wow factor. They come away kind of open-mouthed in awe, just kind of, that school's incredible, So amazing, everything that you're doing there. Well done.
That's very, very kind of you to say, but no, but it is a team effort. And I know, it is a team effort, and credit where credit's due. We had to do a lot of work when I got here back in 2018. As I said, we were a sixth form tutorial college, and we needed to change perceptions of what that meant, what it was. For 2 years we haven't had exams, so the tutorial college market hasn't been there for 2 years. So we needed to adapt, we needed to pivot, we needed to be flexible, and we needed to really look at ways in which we could change perceptions in the market and change what we are. And that was really looking at our DNA and still trying to preserve what our founders back in 1931 set the school up for, looking at the individual. And I think we still have that we look after the individual needs of a student, but in a more modern, more 21st century context.
Sure, absolutely. And I love that when I see schools, innovating and, like you say, pivoting in some way, seeing the need to and doing so, but not losing sight of, the heritage of the school and kind of that DNA, as you described it. So anything else exciting on the horizon at the moment that
yes, we have completely changed our upper school curriculum in preparation for our year 9. So that starts in this September. We have the traditional GCSEs for our students who wish to continue on to do those traditional GCSEs, your typical maths, English, sciences, geography, history, all of that. But we're also offering as options alongside those, so they can do a mixture of real modern BTECs. And those modern BTECs include entrepreneurship, and entrepreneurship will include things like NFTs and cryptocurrency. And I desperately want to go to those lessons. esports. So we've changed and transformed one of our rooms now into an esports arena where we're going to have gaming chairs and kids are going to be learning about esports. We're doing the sports BTEC as well and the performing arts BTEC as well, all at level 2 at GCSE level. So kids who can come and want to do the traditional set of GCSEs, absolutely no problem at all. But if they want to be a bit more innovative and look at the skills that they're going to need for the jobs that haven't been created, I know that's a cliche, in the 21st century, we are hopefully providing them with the skills and knowledge to be able to do that and for them to be able to stand out in the crowd.
That's amazing. I'm going to inquire for my children. It sounds incredible.
Year 9, 2023.
Year 9, brilliant. Now, a more throwaway question, but one that has to be asked. If money was no object, what would you have at DLD and why?
That's a really good question, Emily. What I would love is I'd love to have more bursaries. I would love to have more bursaries to give more children the opportunity to come and enjoy and experience an education that we can provide here at DLD. That's what I would like, more bursaries.
Amazing, amazing. Wow, that's a very giving answer. And nothing selfish about that. I love that. That's yeah, gorgeous.
I think being in this particular role and being at this school, it is about service. You know, we go into teaching, we go into heads of department, we go into senior leadership, etc. And you know, we talked about DNA, and it is all about giving. We are here for our students, we are here for our parents, and that wasn't more pronounced during the pandemic. You know, we had a number of students who couldn't get back to their homelands because the borders had closed, flights had been cancelled, etc. So we had to look after them. So we were open throughout Christmas. We did assembly on Christmas Day. We made sure that they had the best experience here at Christmas, even though they were, you know, some 9,000 miles away from their families. And it's all about service. And that's what I love about teaching. It is all about giving.
Yeah, absolutely. And what are you seeing, maybe linked to that, but what are you seeing as, you know, the biggest challenges facing independent schools in 2022 and beyond?
I think the public perception. I think that has that is something that is challenging for the sector. I think the cost of living is going to be challenging for the sector, where you know there's going to be an impact on fees. There's going to be an impact on family incomes as well. So I think that's going to be something that schools will have to look at, and how we can support our families, and hence why, if money was no object for me, more bursaries to help those students and those families who would benefit from an education at DLD. Looking at the international market as well, I think there are challenges there with Brexit, obviously, and visas now. And of course, COVID has had an impact and has changed people's ideas. But you know, we just got to forge ahead and continue with the good work that schools are doing up and down the country, and work in partnership with our state schools as well. And I think that's really, really important. You know, trying to level up. I know it's going to be difficult. We talk about leveling up and how we can address that particular issue. But it is working together with our partners in the state sector to see how we can benefit all children. And that's something that I'm very, very keen to do here at DLD, in the privileged position that I'm in, and provide education which is available to all.
That was actually the when I met you in person when we were at that event in London, wasn't it? The bringing state and independent schools together, and you know what can they learn from each other?
That's right.
Now, I'll wrap up there because I know it's late for you and for viewers too. But last question: what did you want to be when you grew up? I'd love to know. Latif wanted to be when he grew up.
Oh my God, if I say this now, it's going to go all over LinkedIn. It's the first thing that's you know what I wanted? I wanted to be a wedding planner.
Oh wow.
Wedding planner. Yeah, I know. And then when I got married to the lovely Jo, I just wanted to take over. Maybe that's a control freak in me, I don't know, but just enjoyed looking at the wedding planning and looking at planning and organizing and putting things in place, and just making sure people have a good time. So yeah, that was something I was keen on. But something I was really, really keen on is a trawlerman.
A
I know,
what?
a trawlerman,
Oh,
like a fisherman.
explain.
Yeah, like
Oh,
a up in the trawler,
really?
hauling fish in up on the North Atlantic coast, and that's something I've always wanted to do. I'm just fascinated of the work that those brave people do up there. So that's something I've always wanted to do, be a trawlerman. I know, crazy. I know, completely out of my
Contrast.
comfort zone. And I think
Three
that's what
very
it is.
different career paths there.
Yeah, very different career paths, and it is about being outside of your comfort zone and looking at where you can challenge yourself.
Yes, yes. I mean, oh, amazing. I did not expect either of those two.
Nor did I.
Nor did you. But definitely that, the wedding planner you mentioned, again, giving people a great experience. I think this is definitely part of your DNA, it would seem.
Very much
Brilliant.
so.
Well, thank you so much, Irfan. I know you've had a long day at school and an open event as well. So we are hugely appreciative of your time and your energy and your thoughts and sharing the beautiful qualities of DLD. As I say, it's a kind of gorgeous moment for me because you've been right up there on my list of people I've wanted to talk to.
Very kind of you to say, and thank you very much for giving me the opportunity, and thank you very much to all your viewers who've tuned in tonight to listen to what we have to say. And I'm very grateful for all that you do for the sector as well, because I know you do wonders from the work that I hear that Karen and from Simon as well. So good luck to you and your team, onwards and upwards for the Stickman consultancy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And if anyone would like to get in touch with you about DLD or wedding planning, how might they do that? What's the best route?
Just either follow me on LinkedIn, get in touch with me on LinkedIn, or just type into Google DLD, and hopefully you'll find us there. So and we're right in the middle of London, right opposite the Houses of Parliament.
They really are.
And when you're next around for a cup of tea.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm going to pop down soon for a cup of tea, and I'm going to bring my children.
Brilliant. And there's the website there if you need to get in touch with us.
There's the website, dldcollege.co.uk.
Brilliant.
Inquire.
Thank you very
much. Thank you so much. Have a lovely rest of the evening, and thanks all for watching.
Cheers. Thanks very much, Emily. Thank you very much, viewers. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.